I'm Crystal Blackard.
And I'm Lindsay Reynolds.
We're seekers of truth, willing to ask the hard questions and cut through the industry smoke.
On Simplified Success, the podcast, we strip sales and marketing down to what actually works, front end to back end, so you can scale without the burnout.
Because real growth isn't just about numbers. It's about optimizing how your business runs so you can grow yourself, grow your paycheck, grow your team, and grow your leadership.
And most importantly, making it all happen without the fluff or the chaos.
This is Simplified Success.
Hello. So today is going to be a special episode. We're going to be doing this a little bit different than we normally do. So for number one, today's episode is going to be a sneak peek and then a backstage pass. So we have dived into our clickety-click masterclass, which is all around how to implement your first real funnel. So your first real funnel is going to be your front end tool, your value proposition that helps take people from the C to the A. It's your attract mechanism. And so we did this incredible training in our Simplified Success community, talking about all of the considerations and elements you need in order to prepare to and why you would want to have this in place. And then this is the cool part. You're going to get a behind the scenes backstage pass. So every single month we do a training inside of our Team Builder Academy. And this month we are doing exactly how to clickety click your way and build technically the actual technical pieces of your very first or fully optimized way to attract people into your space, into your own real estate. Like we talked about last week, over the last couple of weeks, how important it is to get people in your own real estate. And so you're going to get to listen to, and if you go on to YouTube, you can watch the training that we did behind the scenes. That's usually, and not usually, it is always only for our direct clients as part of Team Builder Academy. And we're going to give you a backstage pass as we walk through the first parts of their workbook of everything that they needed in order to prep for what we're going to be doing this week in Team Builder Academy, which is actually pulling up the screen, doing a screen share, and walking them through how to functionally set this sucker up so that it is amazing. So I'm super excited you guys get to see this. We're not going to do this very often because the backstage pass is something you get when you are a member of Team Builder Academy. It is you being inside the inner circle. And so you're going to get a special sneak peek of what it looks like and how we coach our clients in Team Builder Academy. And if you want to continue or you want to hear more, or you think, man, I want to hear the next training, Team Builder Academy is already chocked full with a ton of other content that we've done around the connect phases and some earn phases. So we've already done some deep diving into different parts that really help to strengthen your business. And so if you're ready for that, you can look in the show notes. You can join Team Builder Academy and jump right in with us. But today, we're super excited for you to jump in, check it out. So without further ado, here is the initial training of kind of going over why this is important, what this actually all means. And then you're going to get the backstage pass directly into the deep pieces of the technical clickety-click, step-by-step things you need in order to implement this system and this strategy to truly exponentially grow your business. Can't wait to hear what you guys think. And as always, if you have any questions, shoot us a DM. We'd love to catch up.
I'm a stats person. I'm a data person. So you're going to hear some stats as we run through this because that's just kind of how I roll. But 76% of businesses are already using automation in some capacity daily. And it's very much a baseline of how businesses need to move forward. It's not in the future. It's today. And so if you're not using automation in your business, we're going to talk more about what this means. That's okay. We're really good at it over here because one thing I will always say about automation, whenever you're trying to automate anything in your business. So today we're going to talk specifically to funnels and what funnels are and what they do and how they work and how you automate them. I know you guys know what they are because Crystal's been talking about that a lot, but automation in anything, whether it's in a process and how your business functions or any of that, is only as good as how good the manual process is. So people I think have a tendency to see, oh, well, we can just automate it. But if you don't know the best way for it to run without automation, automating without a really solid strategy and a really solid process will actually not yield the results you're looking for. So it's really important that you don't think that automation replaces having a really solid strategy. Okay. Because what really all automation does is takes a lot of the manual piece out of it and the human error piece out of it. And quite frankly, especially when we're talking about marketing, just missing people, right? And just the time consuming piece of making sure you can leverage the concept of one-to-many while also making it feel and look like a one-to-one. So companies that with funnels see 102% higher deal sizes and higher client retention. Okay. So funnels are a really big deal if you want to make money and if you want people to keep buying from you. And without having something like this in place, you're constantly having to chase your leads manually. And I know there's a lot of good systems in order to do that. And you can have an online CRM or customer relationship management tool. All that really means is like a digital version of a Rolodex. Okay. But there's some automation pieces you can leverage when you're using an online version or a digital version of a Rolodex that can help you in a number of ways. One, it can help keep you straight and clean so you know exactly where you're at and where stuff is and where everybody is. But the part that we absolutely love is that it also allows you to automate follow-ups and automate touches in a way that's genuine, in a way that's in alignment with your brand and your voice and how your company communicates with people, and how you communicate with people without having to be engaged in every single thing yourself. So honestly, automation's the best. So let's talk a little bit about what a smart funnel would look like. We're gonna zoom in. So automation can do a lot of different things in your business. Automation can automatically send reminders. It can help you set up people to, sorry, my phone's on ring. Not anymore. It can automatically set up ways for people to be able to schedule things with you or automatically charge. I mean, there's lots of ways when we're talking about automation that you can do that. Today, we are going to be focusing on funnel automation. And so I'm going to deep dive straight into that. So when we talk about what a smart funnel is, what a funnel genuinely does from a tech perspective is it gives a place for somebody to come and say, yes, I'm interested. It gives you the ability to nurture that over time. And it gives them or your client, whoever's on the other side of this, the ability to easily convert into your offer when they're ready. And so a funnel is amazing. It's also really great because when you go to build a funnel, it helps you get really clear on your messaging, on your value proposition, and very clear on giving a really good offer through value. And you know, if you've been in this community any amount of time, and if you haven't, you're about to hear it. We are all about not being cringy. We're all about not being icky sales. We know that if you're here, you have something of value to offer to the world. And it's all about communicating that value and showing that person the journey from where they are to where you're going to help them go with your product or service. And so that's really the basic elements of a funnel. So you'll have an opt-in, which is essentially a page where they can go in and say, raising my hand, this is interesting, I'd like to move forward. Generally in that, you're going to give them some sort of value, right? Whether that is a PDF, whether that's a checklist, whether that's a video, whether that's a quiz, like whatever the thing is, you're going to give them something that gives them a quick win right off the bat, because there's nothing better than starting a relationship with, here's some really cool information. Here's why I'm the guide to take you on this journey from where you'd like to go to where you are, from where you'd like to go to where do you like to go. And also, here is a quick win that you can get right now to get started immediately. Okay. The second essential piece of this is the ongoing nurture. And this is a part that I think a lot of people skip. They do the free value, the free opt-in, right? The freebie. And then they kind of like, okay, I'll just start emailing, right? So this is a really important step. This is part of our strategy, and it's something that's so important to have the right system to do, but also to have the right strategy. And we have deep dived into this in the cafe that we did last month here in this community. So if you go back to the trainings that you've seen in this community, you can learn more about how those nurtures work and all of that. The other place that we have gone so far deep in this, and we gave this entire workbook and really helped people to build these incredible freebies, but also these nurture sequences inside Team Builder Academy. Team Builder Academy is our academy. This is our paid community where we give so much. There's hours of incredibly intentional content. When I say hours, I don't mean like you have to listen to 50 hours to get where you need to go. No, because we don't do that, because we know you're busy, because we're busy too. So we structure it where we can give you quick wins, where you can be deep diving, where you can be building the stuff ready to go. And so it's already chock full with how to run the front side of all of your content to get people to stop the scroll. So the C, the connect, right? We have deep dived into the attract of how to build the right funnel, the right freebie, the right stop the scroll thing, and nurture sequences. And you also get the content catalyst bot, which is our customized bot with our strategy that helps you actually write these nurture sequences, and helps you with your conversion path as far as how to create the sale. So all of that's in Team Builder Academy. If you're not in Team Builder Academy, come check it out. There's no commitment. So when you jump in for a month and you like it, and if you don't like it, you can jump back out. People don't do that. So that's why we don't have a commitment, because we know if you're not wanting to be there anymore, we want you to have the opportunity to be able to go. But man, people don't leave because there's just so much. We just deep dive trainings. They get hot seat Q&As. And so you get to actually ask us questions and give us, drop whatever you're working on. We'll give you feedback. It's awesome. So anyways, the nurture is so important because this is where you're able to automate those multiple touches over time by also continuing to give value, right? Without in a non-weird way. Because if I was just going to manually do that wasn't tied to a free item, it would just be kind of random for me, like, oh yeah, by the way, here's some information. Oh, by the way, here's some information. When you do these nurture sequences, you tie them back to whatever it is that you gave them, and you continue to give that value. Hey, I wanted to also remind you of this other thing that's in there. Did you check this part out? Let me know what your feedback is on this. And also, if you're ready to take the next step, here you go. So you have this really cool way to automatically make sure those people are getting engaged with, and ask them for feedback. And then your engagement ends up being just replying and engaging when they engage, which is amazing. So whenever we talk about these, I think people get really overwhelmed. And I know for us, I like to try out every single trial of every single software. I still do this all the time because I always want to make sure I know what's out there. I want to know that we're in the best one. And I can tell you, I have tried nearly every single, I don't want to say every single because there's always a new one, but if I haven't seen it yet, I will try it if you send it to me. But I have tried nearly every single tool of how to run the back end of someone's business, all the way from project management tools to, opt-in tools like email server tools, to, full-blown course and other tools that run multiple courses and some of your email sequences and all that. I've tried all of them. And we made the choice early on in our business to partner with a software that is an all-in-one. And when I say all-in-one, it is literally everything in one place. It lets you do your full customer relationship management. It does text and email, which is hard to find in a software that does both. Very hard. And texting is very difficult to implement and usually pretty expensive. And so having just those things in one software is incredible. But as you continue down the stack of what this software offers, it's kind of unreal. It can literally do everything. It can do your calendar scheduling. It can charge people. It can do invoicing. It can do all your social media scheduling. It can do courses. It can do communities. It can do DocuSign. I mean, literally, if you can dream it up, it probably has a way to do it. And it has a very, very, very powerful workflow tool. A workflow tool is what allows you to get these automations to work the way you want them to. When you have nurture sequences in place, you want them to do certain things when people behave a certain way. And this tool gives you that ability. It allows you to tag people and triggers you for follow-ups and automated follow-ups. And it puts all of your inboxes in one place. So that no more do you have to go to Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and your email and your WhatsApp and all the places. You don't have to do all the places. Your Facebook Messenger, all your inboxes are all in one place. So when you go to reply and engage, you're in one place. So we believe Simply Optimized is dang near one of the top. I will tell you, no matter what, it goes against anyone on the most comprehensive one tool where you don't have to know how to be really techie to tie it all together. I do know how to do that, and I've done it. We've done it in the past. And that's why I was so excited about this tool, because we don't have to do all of that. And when you tie different softwares together, ultimately things break, and that's just the way it goes. And so this is such an incredible option. And automation will reduce human error by 20%. It gives you consistency, it gives you credibility, and doing it in the right tool changes everything. We do offer a trial with Simply Optimized. So if you, I'll make sure that we have it in the comments or in the somewhere where you can go to our website and check it out. We give you a free trial. We walk you through whenever you join, there's questions. And in Team Builder Academy, we're literally starting our clickety click, where we're literally pulling up, sharing screen, and walking you through how to do stuff. So Simply Optimized, I cannot say enough about how incredible of a tool it is. If you are interested in Simply Optimized and you're switching from an existing tool over to it, shoot us a DM so we can talk about the right way to do that. Because there's some definitely important things you want to do to make sure your domain does not get put in jail when you do that. Just side note, holler at me if you have questions. So last big thing I want to jump into today is why this is so important for your next step. Okay. So 96% of site visitors will not buy in the first visit. What that means to you, it's still that age old how it takes 8 to 12 touches for somebody to know, like, and trust you enough to do to move forward in whatever it is you're offering. Is that always true? No. Sometimes people do buy before that. Some people, I mean, that's just math, right? But traditionally, it takes that much engagement. Okay. And having marketing automation to this level creates, and this is all, I can give you all the cite all the sources. So if you guys want sources, if you guys want receipts, holler at me. I'll tell you where all this data came from. But marketing automation delivers an average of a 544% ROI. When you put these things in place, it does take a minute. I'm not going to say it's immediate and super fast. You have to take a minute to bring all your collateral together. Once you have collateral together, the way our system is set up and Simply Optimized, you just knock it out. But getting it all organized and getting it all together can take a minute. But once it is, you just do it the one time, and you don't have to do it every time somebody's engaging with you. You get to put them in this amazing place where you've already built their journey for them to be able to learn and get value and see you as a guide, and then be ready and remember you for when they're ready to make that move. That's the other big thing I want to touch on that I think is so important, is that as much as it's great to have the automation and have that to take them down a path, man, with as much of what's going on in the world, we are inundated with information. We are inundated with options, right? And our brains can only take so much information. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the reticular activating system. Your brain actually processes information because it chooses what it's going to filter. And part of that filter is looking for things that it knows to be true or it knows you want. Okay. And so that's why it's so important that you have these nurture sequences in place, because it helps that person see you again and see you again and see you again and remember you and connect you in their brain to that thing, so that whenever it's time for them to make that move, it'll be the first thing their brain pulls back up from as something that it's got filed away. Because we can't, generally speaking, our brains cannot handle the number of things that are thrown in our face every single day. You would just implode. And so your brain has that thing in it to try to protect it. And so it's important for you, if you know the thing that you're trying to add value in and help in the journey you're going to take your clients on, if you have a really good way to attract them in, they've said they're really interested in your thing because of what you've given away, you are doing them service by continuing to show them what could happen when they continue down the path. They've taken the first step. They've said, yeah, I'm interested. I want to be in your space. I want to learn more about this. I want to hear more. And it's up to you to make sure your nurture sequence is built in a way where you can continue to take them down that path. They've given you the permission. They're asking you to help them see why and how this can be good for them. And so when you have that set up in the right way, you get to automatically have them see the value of what you bring into the world. The thing that you are meant to do gets to be right front facing for them. And then you get to help engage as they engage back. So the time that you spend in your business looks different, right? You get to spend time doing the thing that most people like to do, which is actually talking to people about what it is and helping them on the journey. Right. And so when we automate these other follow-ups, these other pieces, these little nuggets and these other value propositions, it gives you the opportunity to spend your energy and your time in the place that's really the most fun, which is getting them right across the finish line, and then helping them through having the value of your service. So like I said, we go deep dive into this in TBA. We actually did the first piece of, they have an entire workbook of all the collateral, pulling everything together. And next week, we're going to be literally pulling up the screen, and I'm going to be showing them exactly step by step how to take the entire outline that we put together. So here's everything that needs to be in it, every single step, all the pieces, and how to put them into the system to have it automatically build their very first funnels, so that way they can drop a link and have somebody come on an amazing journey that they curated for them to be able to understand, learn, grow, and ultimately move into a client reality where they can actually begin to have a true transformation. So we're going to be diving into that in Team Builder Academy. We are going to be using Simply Optimize. And again, that comes with a free trial, so you can always go check it out. But we're just so excited about how much these powerful funnel automations can change your business, and honestly are something you have to have in 2025. They're almost a non-negotiable at this point. And once you understand how to do these ones, you'll start to understand the concept, and you'll see all the places in the back end of your business and other parts in your business that you can make your business better, which means you're better for your clients. It means your product's better. It means your service is better. It means you're better. And that means in all parts of your life, things become better because you're automating the right parts to ensure that you are getting the best experience for everybody. So thanks for jumping on today. So excited to hear what you guys think. Drop in the comments and let me know what makes you most excited or most overwhelmed about the idea of implementing a funnel in your business. If you already have a funnel in your business, I would love to hear how it's going. Was it working well? Are people getting into it? What kind of engagement are you getting on the back end of it? Let me know where you guys are at in this funnel journey so that we can help give you guys more feedback, more direction. If you guys are more advanced and you want to know more about, ways we can dive into that more, let's talk about it. If you want us to take a half step back, we can do that because we'll be talking about this again next week. So give us some feedback on what you guys want to hear. And if you're ready to go all in on this, jump in Team Builder Academy because we are, you can already get all your homework ready, and we are diving in next week to literally get this built. If you know you need this, you don't have it, jump in, let's get it built so that you can see and start using and leveraging this amazing tool. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm so excited that I got to jump in today, and I cannot wait to see you guys again soon. Have a great day. Okay, get ready. Your backstage pass has been verified. You are a VIP. It is time for you to see what behind the scenes of Team Builder Academy looks like. So buckle up, and here we go.
Step things you need in order to implement this system and this strategy to truly exponentially grow your business. Can't wait to hear what you guys think. And as always, if you have any questions, shoot us a DM. We'd love to catch up.
Hey guys, welcome. So excited. So we are diving right in over here at Team Builder Academy into my side of the house. And so I'm so excited for this couple of weeks training and what we're going to be doing, because we're going to go straight into what we are calling clickety click, which is really my side of the world. And so we have spent the last few weeks, month, getting everything prepped for you to be ready to build kind of taking everything that we've learned from Capture and really be ready to get those people into your own space. And so what we need to do from a clickety click perspective is build your own space. And so we're going to talk through some stuff today. If you haven't already downloaded the checklist, do so. Today's call is going to be all the things that we need to get ready. And then next week's call, we are going to be pulling on our boots and getting right in there. I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to do all the things. And so one of the first things we want to talk about, and it's funny because I'm reading through your checklist that you have in the Clickety Click workbook, and we dove straight into all of the collateral you needed to prepare. When I say collateral in our world, or if you've ever worked with an organization similar to ours that's doing anything for you, collateral is going to be like all of the quote unquote assets that are necessary in order to do all the pieces. So a lot of times collateral will be like, the actual functional finalized documents. I'm going to use some language. I'm going to try not to get too jargony on you. But it's funny because one of the first things that you need to do before you even open up the workbook, is really look into what tool or software you want to use to clickety-click your way into it. And so I will tell you guys know I live in the backside of the house. Crystal loves doing all the front side things, and she knows how all the things work. But this is my world. And I am the kind of person who likes to try all the things to find out what's the best and why, and what's not good and what's great and what's amazing about this thing, but not great about that thing. And so sometimes I kind of drive the team nuts because I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to try this one thing and see if it's better because it has this other feature. And I want to see if this is better and worth what the other ones give. And so I'm constantly in trials of everything. So when I say I've tried everything, when it comes to these softwares, it depends on what you're long-term trying to do to dictate which ones you should try or which one might be the right one for you. And so whether you are just looking to have a way for you to be able to give your freebie and then eventually do some fostering through email campaigns, that's a very basic level feature. And there's a number of different products you can do that with. And as somebody, like I said, who has tried them all, some of those are like MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, gosh, there's literally like 1,000 of them. Those are two that I've used specifically. So that's just looking at the funnel piece, right? And then as you look at what you want to do next, you want to text them potentially as part of your work. Well, that's a whole different software. And those are a little bit more complicated. And then if you're wanting the ability at some point to be able to host a community or be able to do any online courses, that's when you move into softwares like Kajabi, or Searchy.io or Thinkific, or there's a number of different softwares that do that. And so you also need to be thinking about if you are going to want to have any ability for people to be able to schedule time with you. So depending on what you guys do, if you do calls and you want people to be able to schedule a time to meet with you, then you need a scheduling software. So that there's like Calendly and a few other softwares for that. And if at any point you need to be able to have documents signed, so like, we have contracts or invoices or things like that you need somebody to be able to sign. You need a software like DocuSign. That's the most common one for that. And so as you can tell, when you start talking about what you need to do, you could end up with 4, 5, 6, 8 softwares. And you know how I know? Because we've done that. And then here's the tricky part about having multiple softwares. This is the one thing you have to be really mindful when you are choosing which software, is that when you have multiple softwares, you have to have the ability to tie them together. They need to be able to connect. Otherwise, you end up with multiple databases. You end up with multiple ways that things connect. And you have to make sure that if somebody joins your email list, if you've already built it over in one software, and now you want to add any type of a coaching element, or you want to add a community, or you wanted to add the ability for them to be able to schedule calls. Now you have to make sure there's a way that you're connecting those together through links or other pieces. It also means that you have to do this full setup thing that we're going to talk about in our next call on every single software. Now, spoiler alert, I know you guys already know, we partnered with a software because this software that we partnered with will literally let you scale to do all the things I said and more things. And so after spending decades trying literally every software you could think of, I've literally tried that all. If you go through my email list, my personal email account, you will see trial. I try them all. We picked this software powered by High Level. It's Simply Optimized is our software that we've branded our way. We've also put a lot of templates and other things in it that make it ours. So it is powered by that software. So you have this really robust backend, really robust team that's actually building all the software and dealing with any bugs, issues, problems. So you have this really hugely backed software, but then you have our strategy in it. The reason we went with this software is because it gives you literally everything in one, all of it, and more than what I said. And you can actually, we'll make sure that in the comments, you can go straight to the website. You can go read all the features. The reason why this is so important is that moving softwares is really difficult. Okay. We know how to do it and we can help you. So if you already have your stuff in another place and you need help moving it, there's a very strategic way you need to go about doing it. But if you know that in your business at some point, you might want to run more than one business, which is cool. And, or you want to be able to scale things, using this tool allows you to grow as you grow. without having to add 99 more tools, which is so huge. We've also priced it at a price point that we believe is a steal for what it is. If I'm being totally honest, it's actually significantly less than they actually recommend you to charge it for. But we want it to be something people can afford, because we know that when you start adding up all those different items, like we talked about, your tech stack can get expensive in a hurry, like a real hurry. And you spend so much time trying to get it all worked out. And so it doesn't give you a lot of flexibility, because you're taking so much time learning one software, then learning another software, then learning another software, then learning another software, and then being able to make it all work together. And you usually, when you get an all-encompassing software, you lose functionality or you lose flexibility. And I can tell you with Simply Optimized, that does not happen. So you're able to run. So what we're going to talk about over this today, like prepping for and then putting in place tomorrow, the next training, is how to create your first, it's going to be called a funnel. Okay. A funnel essentially has a landing page, a way for somebody to opt into something, whether that's purchase something from you or sign up for your email list, and then a thank you page on the backside. That's a funnel. It's got multiple steps. Okay. Whereas a website is a landing page that could take to multiple places, but it's just a website. And both can be done inside of Simply Optimized. And we'll talk through why you do one over the other when we go into the setup. But what I want you guys to recognize is that, again, I know we preach this particular software because we believe in it. And that is what I will be showing you guys how to do the setup in, will be in Simply Optimized. The concept is similar in most. Like you could get ClickFunnels, and ClickFunnels has some other templates. The part that I will say with Simply Optimized is it's kind of like the difference between Android and Apple. You have every single feature, and the way that you set everything up is pretty granular, which is fantastic because it gives you so much flexibility and saves you so much time in the long run. So you'll set up these different pieces, and then later when you decide, hey, actually, let's say hypothetically, you decide to add some sort of coaching or free items. So you're going to keep doing these free items to attract people in. And let's say one of those free items you decide that you want to do is a little mini course, which is fantastic. It's an incredible way for a freebie. Like right now we talked about the initial stuff of just doing a PDF or different, you could do a lot of different things. You could do a video, you can do a lot of different stuff. But doing a mini course is such an elevated freebie for people to be able to really get to know, like, and trust you, because you can do it through video. And we'll talk more about this later as we go through TBA. But what I love about this particular tool is that as you do these elevated freebie opt-ins, right? These ways that you get people to say, yes, I'm interested in your thing. I want to get to know and like and trust you. You can do multiple different kinds within the system without having to add additional systems. So like a great example, an elevated sort of advanced freebie would be a quiz. And they're so fun. Like I'm sure you've taken them before, where it's like, answer these 5 questions to know your whatever archetype, or answer these 5 questions or 10 questions, take the quiz to know which, what your best next step is, or those kinds of things. They perform incredibly when done well, but it takes a ton of softwares to make that work traditionally. Like they're very difficult to implement on the back end, which is why you don't see a lot of them, because they're tough to manage and they require you to have an advanced knowledge set, but not with Simply Optimized. It all just runs it for you. And so it's just an absolutely incredible tool. And again, I'm probably not going to get off my soapbox on it, because our big thing in what we do is try to make things simpler and easier for you guys to know how to get it in place and be able to spend time in your business in the places that you genuinely love to spend time in. And for most of you, that's not in this space. And so what we want is a tool and a resource that supports you, so that as your creativity is flowing and as you come up with new ideas or new ways to share your topic or new things to be able to do, you don't have to start all the way over, or don't have to go research a new software, set it up, connect it with yours, make sure all of your contacts are moved over, make sure everybody's opt-in appropriately, blah, 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 blah. So one note, if you are moving an email list over from a previous tool, so let's say you look at Simply Optimized, everybody gets a trial, by the way. So if you go to our website, again, I'll drop the link here. You can sign up for the trial and you get a 10-day trial. So that means you can play with it while we're doing this. And if you don't like it, cool. If you do like it, even better. But during that trial, you'll get to play and mess with things. there will be a strategy and we can discuss this. If you guys are moving stuff over, let me know. And I might do like a little separate video or separate training on the strategy in which you use to move people from one email list software to another. And I will tell you right now, that strategy is not taking their email list and uploading it into the new software. Please do not do that. Please hear me again. Do not take your email list from another place and just upload it into a new software. That will put you in jail from a domain perspective. So please don't do that. If you guys are moving over or you have email lists in other places, let me know. I'll do a training. I'll walk you guys through how to do this. So, okay, jumping right in. So now that you guys know that we are on the Simply Optimized train, you can get your trial there. If you guys are looking at other softwares or you want some opinions on other softwares, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I will give you the pro cons of everything because I've literally been in every single one. I know I didn't name every single one, but I have tried every single one. And if I haven't tried it, I kind of want to because I want to see. So let me know. And I'm happy to give you guys kind of a pro con. But I will say the one big pro that will come up more often than not is that you have everything in one place without having to wonder if you're going to need it later. So that's one of the big things. You need to know which software that you're going to use. Okay. Once you know that, then we need to go through collecting all your collateral, all your stuff and things into one place so that when you go to build your funnel, it's really smooth, it's really easy, and we'll just go clickety, clickety, clickety. And look at that, clickety, click. So first thing you need to have is all of your branding together. Okay, so branding by definition really is what makes your brand visually look and feel the way that it does. Okay, so when we talk about branding, things we're talking about is we need all of your hex colors, so hex color is essentially the code, or it could be, we'll stick with hex, the code of that color. Okay, so if you know what your colors are and you don't have the hex codes for it, if you go to, let me see exactly what the website, if you just search like Google search like hex code finder, you can upload, like one of the first things that pops up when you type in hex code finder is color picker online. You just literally upload the picture to it and then you click on it and it will tell you what hex color it is. Okay. What the hex color does is it tells you and tells the system exactly the exact color that you want it to be. The hue, the number, down to every single little detail color. Okay. Why this is so important is that you want congruency across your brand. You want when people to see you, your brand, they recognize certain colors. Like if you were to scroll past our stuff and you saw bright orange and bright yellow, you'd be really confused. Like that's not our brand. We use very similar colors and everything that we do has a cohesive vibe to it. The reason why this is so important is that it starts to become kind of what people remember you by. Right. And when you think about an online space, and it's also really important for brick and mortar, you want people to correlate certain colors and certain vibes, certain fonts, certain logos to you. Okay. Certain brand fonts, all of that. So when you guys think of a red kind of, flowy thing, if you even see the Coca-Cola font, it's Coca-Cola. Like you've been indoctrinated in that brand, and you have a feeling that you associate with Coca-Cola. Good, bad, depends on your opinion on Coca-Cola, right? So it's really important that you're creating that same thing for your brand. I'm trying to think of some other, like think about Hershey's, or I'm thinking of brands that you've grown up on. So we don't need to be corporate. It needs to be a vibe and a feeling that's in alignment with you and what you want to attract. The bottom line is people are attracted by how things look and feel, which creates a feeling. And then it goes into what they're reading, hearing, things like that. And so getting your brand right is so important because it becomes your, it's your signature, right? And when we're talking about the digital space, it's what people are going to stop scrolling and look at. Okay. So if this really overwhelms you, totally fine. It's not my real wheelhouse either. I have like vibes that I get attracted to. This is Dudley. Those of you that haven't had a chance to meet Dudley, my dog just walked in. So he's coming to say hello, apparently. We have a team that actually will build you a whole brand kit, a done for you brand kit. She is like one of the most incredible designers. And I can't even tell you like how grateful we are to have someone that you can have access to like this, because she is just an artist and she can make you the most beautiful one-off logos. And like, actually we have, oh my gosh, I can't wait for you guys to see this. We are rebranding Team Builder Academy. Because when we initially dropped Team Builder Academy, we just wanted to get it out because we just want to start serving you guys. But we knew, as you can tell, the branding in Team Builder Academy does not speak to really anything. And it's just kind of random, right? And this is part of the behind the scenes that you guys get to see. So I'll give you a little behind baseball. I hate that analogy, but whatever. And I never understood it really. Like guys always say that, but now it's just in my head. Behind baseball, what does it even mean? So what we are about to do is drop the rebranding for Team Builder Academy. And when you see the new brand for Team Builder Academy, you will know exactly what I mean. It has an entire vibe. If you go to our website, when you go through, we use very similar colors, very similar color palette. We use the same font. We have our logo. Like all those things create a remembrance and a connection to who we are, what we do, and how we do things. So for your brand kit, you need to have a logo. You need to have your brand fonts figured out and picked. There you go, figured out. And you need to have all your hex colors. Again, like I said, if this is like overwhelming for you and you've never picked any of this, you don't even know. Pinterest is a great place to look too. You can just literally go to Pinterest and put like brand kit or, branding vibes for this kind of coaching or for this kind of company, this kind of business, and you get some ideas. But if you want something really custom to you, our brand kit is so cost effective from like an investment perspective. And then once you have it, you have it. And I would honestly recommend like the way she does our kits. I'll drop it in the comments so you guys can see like how the brand kits look. I wonder if I can, it's hard for me to share screen mid recording. So I will drop that for you guys so you guys can see what the brand kits look like. So you have an idea of what we mean when we say a full brand kit. They're just beautiful. And it's based on inspiration. So like if you aren't sure what you want to do, you give inspiration pictures of things that you're just attracted to. And then she builds this like beautiful brand. And then you're just like, what? This is me in a brand. And it's just like when we got Team Builder Academy, I nearly cried. It was just like, this is so perfect. Like I can't wait for you guys to see it. Okay. Another big thing that you guys need to have prepped is a file storage of some sort. Okay. So file storage would be like Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, some sort of online storage. If you do not have a way to do that, it's really simple. Like Google Drive, you can literally just go create a Google Drive, create a Google account, and you'll automatically have a Google Drive. The reason that you need this is you need to create a file where you're going to save your freebie. So when people go and download it and they click download now, you can put the link of where it's stored because you need a place to actually store it. Okay. So that is something you do need to have prepared before we get going. Also, this is something that you also do need to have, but depending on how I'm going through the clickety click. So if you haven't downloaded the clickety click workbook, make sure you do that. It's got a great list of all these things so you don't forget, and then you can check them all off to make sure you're ready for next week. So another big thing you need to have is a domain. A domain is your www.yourbusiness.com. Why this matters is that's like your address. It's like your home address. And if you don't have a home address, we can't tell anybody where to go, right? And so it's really important that you have a domain so that we can say, go to this place. So that way you can send people there whenever you're doing things, right? And that's how people will, go for your link in your bio or whatever. You have to have an address. There are a couple ways to execute doing this. If you are going to use Simply Optimized, I will walk you guys through how to acquire that domain in Simply Optimized. It's so easy to do, and then it's already in there and you don't have to redirect it. If you purchase your domain in another place, like GoDaddy's a great option. We've purchased domains there many times, and it's very easy to connect your domain into Simply Optimized from GoDaddy. You just literally go there, put in what you want your web address to be, and it will tell you what it costs. I will say sometimes certain ones will cost more money than others. Usually you can get a domain for a couple bucks, depending on what you're getting, if it's not like a very popular thing. Get creative if what you're wanting is too expensive. So we did KL Consulting Co. Like that, we did that because KL Consulting was already taken. And so we did KL Consulting Co., which is our company anyways, .com. One thing I will tell you when you're picking domains is if it's too long to type or the words are weird where they would be misspelled, people are going to misspell it and they're not going to get to your website. So be really mindful that you use something that's very easy. Shorter is better, easier to type, or that easier to say. Otherwise they may mess that up. So make sure you have your domain purchased. If you do it in Simply Optimized, do not buy it somewhere else. We'll walk you through how to do that in next week's training. Okay. the other things that you need to have ready. So last masterclass, we went through Cafe and you got an entire workbook. And in your Cafe workbook, we actually designed it to be ready for clickety click. And so make sure you have gone through your entire Cafe workbook and you have gotten all of those assets sort of started, at least for the connect and the attract phase. We'll talk more about foster soon, but those are going to be the two most important pieces that you be clear of what you're doing in order for us to build everything out for the clickety click, because you need to have a pretty good idea of how you're going to use it on the connect side, like where you're going to be connecting. And on the attract side, we need to know what you're actually having, and you need to have your freebie lead magnet ready. Okay. So whatever freebie lead magnet that you're planning on doing, drop it in the comments and let us know if you have ideas, if you're not sure if it's the right one. I know you guys talked about all of this in your last masterclass, but if you haven't had a chance to build it yet, or if you have and you want us to look at it, drop it in the comments. Put it in here. Let us look at it. Let us give you some feedback. And that way you have this week to make some adjustments to get it ready. If you've chosen to do a video or anything else, share the link in here. We'll watch it if that's part of how your lead magnet works. Whatever asset you're planning on giving away, you're juicy, awesome. Here's the thing where I'm giving you free value, and so that you can get to know, like, and trust me and learn something and get a quick win. That's what freebies are. They're a quick win for your ideal client. Shoot it in here so we can look at it and we'll give you guys feedback. And that way we can tell you like, hey, this one's hitting, or maybe make this adjustment or change this language a little bit. So that way we can make sure it really hits. Because what you will find is that, and sometimes this is kind of a guess and check as you go, some freebies hit more than others. Some people, some copy converts really well for a freebie, but the freebie itself doesn't really hit. And you'll be able to tell, because that's the great thing about how the back end of Simply Optimized works, and where you need to be really, this is actually a really important thing that I forgot to mention when you're talking about evaluating which software, is how good is the reporting and how much flexibility do you have to be able to see every step of the process. So as you build this entire ecosystem, you need to be able to have visibility to see where things are working well and where they're not at a granular level. Otherwise, you don't know what's not working or what you need to make adjustments for, or what you have an opportunity to make better. And so it's really important that you can actually look at the data for every single piece. And the reason I say that is your sales page might be working great, which means you're converting people. They're joining. But when you go look at how much people are actually clicking and using the asset, whatever it is that you gave them, the video, the checklist, the PDF, whatever it is, if that is not high, then you have an opportunity to do something better and make that better. And so you can find out granularly what's not working in your process throughout the whole thing, whether we're talking about the connect, the attract, the foster, the earn, because there's also, I forgot to even talk about this, scheduling software for scheduling all of your social media content and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all of your business pages. There's multiple tools for that. You could do that in Simply Optimized also. So literally your entire world becomes managed in one place. And it's just, it's so amazing. You can even create groups if you're running multiple brands, and it's amazing. So you need to have both of those things ready. So you need to go through and do your workbook, make sure you, at least the attract section, because we're really going to be focusing on this week, is getting that part built out. Build your freebie lead magnet, drop it in here. We will give you guys feedback. We're excited to see them all. And then you'll be ready to go. Okay. Once you have everything together, okay, which that also includes in the Cafe workbook, and this is actually in there, you'll see, you need to have your copy written. Okay. So copy in our world. So you'll hear us say that all the time. And maybe we've talked about this more, but I want to make sure we're not using any jargon that you guys don't understand. Copy is the words that are going to go on the page. Okay. So you need to have the copy, the words, all of the things Crystal's been teaching you how to use. You can also use your Content Catalyst bot to help with some of this, especially on the Connect side, but you can ask it to help you with some of the opt-in stuff and some of these other pieces when it comes to your landing page. So whenever they get to the page, what's it going to say? The page could very well say, for something like this, here is the freebie. I mean, you won't call it a freebie, but here is your free guide that will teach you blah, 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 blah. Download here. It doesn't have to be a really crazy page, but once they hit download here, then you want them to probably get an email that says, hey, thanks for downloading this thing. Welcome to my community. Here's where you can download your thing, and have a little button where they can download it. You need to have what that email is going to say written out and ready to go. If you want them to get any follow-up emails, so this is kind of an advanced thing. So please do not be overwhelmed with what I'm about to say. You do not have to have this in place for your first thing, okay? If you want to, you can, and we will talk about how to do this, but you do not have to have it, okay? We call them nurture sequences or follow-up sequences. So you can set it up where after they get their first email, where you give them the freebie, 2 days later, they get another email that says, hey, how's the freebie going? Did you like tip number 2? One of my other favorite stories about this is blah, 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 right? Then you could have one 2 more days later. That's like, hey, I'm so excited that you had a chance to look at blah, blah, blah. Have you seen this? And you could point them to a purchased item. You could point them to something that you want to sell them. You could point them to a different freebie, a different free thing that you have in place. But this is part of you fostering that relationship. Like, hey, it was really great to meet you the other day. I'm so glad that we got to connect. This is like a normal person, right? How are things going? What's up? Did you ever get an answer to that thing we talked about? Oh, okay, cool. Sounds good, right? Just how you make a friend, right? And then a week later, you're like, hey, I was just thinking about you. How are things going? How have you been? How's your week been? It's the same thing. You're just doing this in an automated fashion, in alignment with what they downloaded without being weird. Because if you started emailing people like, hey, how's your day going? They might think that you're like a prince from another country trying to, marry them and get them $3 billion, which is how they unsubscribe. So you don't want to do that. Okay. So, I'm looking at the list to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yep. Sorry about that. Okay. So we want to have your email. Yep. Delivery email, nurture sequence. Those are all the pieces that we need for just next week. We will continue down this pathway, moving more advanced and more advanced, but I want to start with the basics and get you guys built out with your first funnel. So put all of those items in one folder somewhere so that it's easy to get to. So that when we start doing this, you can quickly find all the things. Okay. So between now and the next training, pull all of your collateral. Look at you guys, you're in the circle now. All of your collateral together. Yeah. Get it in your folder so it's all organized. Sign up for your trial for Simply Optimized so that when we go through the training, you can follow along, which will be amazing. Then in the next training, we're going to start with connecting your domain. So if you haven't already purchased it in Simply Optimized, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. If you have purchased it in another place like GoDaddy, I'm going to show you guys how to connect it. Okay. Then we're going to build our first funnel, which will have your opt-in page, your thank you page, and the delivery system in order for people to automatically get it. And then we are going to build your first email sequence. So the additional email. So maybe have one email ready of what they would get after they downloaded it a couple days later so that we can show you guys how to do that. The other really important thing I will say about evaluating softwares is that they have advanced workflow. Okay. Advanced workflow is the ability to say, if this happens, then do this. And when this happens, then do that. But if this didn't happen, then do this. Okay. So the reason why that particular feature is so important, it is one of the most important things. It's the thing that allows you to automate in the best kind of way. Okay. And it allows you to stack different things on top of each other. Most softwares that I've been talking about have that. But what's tricky is a lot of them are very difficult to use and they require a ton of implied knowledge. Ours is really simple. And it allows you to say, when they open it, send them this email. If they haven't opened it though, like they never so let's say they sign up for your freebie and they never hit the download button. They never opened up the other email. Maybe a different email sends them and says, hey, remember how you downloaded this thing? You never actually downloaded it. Oh my gosh, go check it out, right? I mean, I'm paraphrasing. Don't write that. But whatever you decide is in alignment with your brand voice and how you communicate with your people. Or they read the welcome email, but they downloaded it. And now since they've downloaded it, you have a different set of things that you want to send to them for them to be able to continue down there. And maybe that's a text message a couple of days later and then an email 2 days later, and then another text message, depending on what you want to do. Or maybe once they get us to a certain point of opening emails, they get a whole other line of emails, right? Once they've opened the first 2, you want to talk to them about in detail about selling something, like you want to do a sales campaign. The system will let you do all of that. And once you build these, you can connect them together. And again, this sounds overwhelming. Please do not be overwhelmed. It is very simple to do. That's why we call it Simply Optimized. And we will walk through how to do this. But if everything you're hearing is, I need this, I need this, I need this, but I don't want to be a clickety-click master, that is okay. We've got you. We will do these things for you. We do have marketing and sales engines, and then we have full business management machines. And so depending on what you do in your business, we will build all this out for you. Now you can continue to do the DIY, do it yourself through TBA. We are going to walk you through this. But if you know, like, hey, I don't want to wait. I just want to get this built out. And honestly, I don't want to know how to do all this. I just want to know how to do bits and pieces to manage it, but I don't want to build all this out. I just don't have the capacity, or honestly, you just would rather not spend the time doing it. Reach out to Crystal or I. We can talk to you about our done for you systems. Our team is masters at this. We can do this really fast because we've been doing it for a long time. But more than anything, we'll help you write all the copy. We'll help you get all the things in there. We'll help you build all the clickety click, and we'll read through everything and make sure whatever you're building will really convert. You guys can get that in TBA, but DIY is different than done for you. So imagine white glove service. We take care of all of it. So that's an option. If that's something that you're interested in, shoot us a DM and we can talk to you about what our done for you systems look like. We have marketing and sales engines that are focused on capturing leads, helping you with follow-up, converting paying clients into another space. So that's really, they're very focused on marketing and sales. The full business management machine is when we're talking about marketing, sales, client onboarding, scheduling, payments, referrals, communities, courses, all the things, signing agreements, like depends on what your business is. This could replace a HoneyBook if you use that. Like if any of you guys do any type of like customer client management where you have them, you're managing multiple clients and you're managing their schedule, you're managing their invoice, all those things, like it can handle all of that. It does all those pieces, but we just have to build it out, and so those are things. So if that's something you guys are interested in doing, awesome. Shoot us a DM. If not, that's okay too. We got you. Okay. So that gets us through everything you need to prep. That gets you through all your homework to be ready for next week. So go through, get the clickety-click checklist, start working on it. And next week we'll jump in to, you'll only see me on the corner of the screen because I am going to be clickety-clickety all over teaching you guys how to make this happen. So thank you guys for being in Team Builder Academy. And as always, you guys are our favorite people and our favorite place on the internet. And if you have friends that you think would want to learn this and that want to jump in, let us know so that we can get them into Team Builder Academy, because the Academy, honestly, like we want it to grow. We really do. We want it to grow with the right people. And the best way to do that is to start with people that we already know, like, and trust, which is you. And the people that we know are in alignment with what we want to help with. So if you have friends that are your business buddies, business girlfriends that are struggling in this space and don't even know how to begin to do any of this, invite them into the community. We would love to have them in the Academy. So I hope you guys have the best day. Cannot wait to see all of your opt-ins. Make sure you're dropping them in here so we can start looking at those and giving you guys some feedback. And I cannot wait to start clicking next week. So have a great week, you guys. Thanks.
If today's conversation helped you see your business more clearly, make sure you hit follow so that you don't miss an episode.
And if you're ready for more support, join us inside the free Simplified Success community. It's where we share resources, strategies, connections, and you really get to hang out with a lot of cool other growth-minded entrepreneurs.
Simplify your strategy, multiply your results, and make it happen. This is Simplified Success.